So recently, I feel like we've heard so much about the limitations of the Nintendo Switch. And look, it is limited, I'm not gonna lie. Although there are some developers who can take problems like this and make it work for them. And when I mean for them, I mean making art. I mean making beauty. When I step back and look at Octopath Traveler 2, honestly, I think it has some of the most impressive looking graphics I've seen in a video game in a very long time. And not just like realistic graphics or impressive graphics, and I mean like living, breathing art that you can go and enjoy. You can explore this beautiful world. And I mean, the game offers so much more than that, but I don't know, I'm taken back by every single time that I see something new, a waterfall, or even a jungle, or sand, like just these amazing environments that just come to life in this graphic style. I have to say, like, this is truly pixel art. But again, as I said, the game offers far more than just beauty. This game also has some amazing writing. The storylines themselves trade fantastical themes for more real-life situations. Not completely, there's still gonna be some of the over-the-top kind of thing, but what I'm saying is they are more relatable, and the characters themselves are a little bit more relatable, at least to me. But again, I'm not trying to bash any other series, just that this game, in my opinion, is a little bit more adult themed. It's a little bit more, well, relatable, like I said. You have situations like Hikari, where he's a samurai prince who's amazing with his sword ability, but even better with his communications, and much more of a diplomat, where his brother is an outright brute and can pretty much destroy anything and everything. But as the father, the king, is dying, he chooses Hikari. Now, instead of sticking with his brute son, he decides to choose Hikari as the next successor to the throne. Well, this enrages the brother, and the brother decides to burn the entire city, causing mass chaos, hundreds of deaths, and really just only letting his supporters know what he was doing. There are even other storylines that are much more realistic. In fact, there's somebody like Casti, an apothecary, who travels town to town trying to fix a deadly illness, as well as trying to find out who she is. I think we all understand the difficulties of fighting illnesses, but I think her story is even more interesting because she could have been the one that created some of it, but we don't know yet. I just got the hint of that. And then there's even the story of deep poverty. This is actually one of my favorite stories so far in the game. It's about a merchant who grew up in a mining town and in fact helped this town to prosperity like they've never seen before. Put the town on the map, in fact, but was easily swindled and taken over by greed. And as time went on, the entire town suffered and there was no food. His own father almost succumbed to death. All of this was an issue that was, just basically perpetrated by greed. And this catapults you into revenge against, say, the original Gordon Gekko. But listen, it's not just writing that makes this game amazing. It's also the actual combat. See, a lot of us who played the first one can tell you this game was hard. And it does require a lot of grinding. Although I can say in the sequel, I haven't noticed as much of a grind. Like, the characters seem to level up quicker. And maybe that's just in my mind, but I remember playing the first one and just endlessly grinding for, it felt like forever. And this one really doesn't seem to feel that way. And the difficulty is still there, of course, as you kind of play this rock, paper, scissors game of finding a weakness and then exploiting the weakness on each enemy. And just like the first one, once you figure out a monster's weakness, it will still let you know by a little symbol underneath the monster. Now, I have to talk about the difficulty real quick because I also would think that aside from the grinding being a little bit more easier, also the use of a new ability also makes this game just a little bit more easier and a little bit more attainable. Now, there's a latent power. Every character has one and they do different things for each character. Somebody like Hikari can unleash just this massive limit break style attack. It all really depends on your character's capabilities and then goes and expands them. Like for instance with Cassie, you're just being able to perform like even more healing or attacking abilities. It's your apothecary skills, but all of them have this ability that really actually ends up helping quite a bit. Now I have to say though, it is relatively the same gameplay that we're used to from Octopath Traveler 1, but there's nothing wrong with that as it's classic RPG, and God, I love those kind of games. So, if you like turn-based RPGs, you're still gonna love this. It maybe just adds a few more little elements, and if you've never played the first one, definitely adds a couple more, but it's not anything groundbreaking. There's nothing that has never been seen before, and that's fine. I'm here for that. The only thing that I am concerned about is the same thing I was concerned about with the first one. It does seem like the characters at least acknowledge each other and maybe have some banter here and there, but it's far and few between. And I don't know, I just feel like there's a missed opportunity. But I haven't beat the game. In fact, I'm only about, probably not even halfway through if I'm being honest. I'm about 25 hours in. So maybe there's more as the characters get to know each other. But I still feel like there's opportunities when your characters can interact with each other. Like, they know each other, they're continuing on their stories, and when they're going through difficult times in their stories, you would think there would just be a little bit more banter, a little bit more discussion or aid, but it doesn't really seem to be there. Again, I'm pretty early on in the game, so maybe this expands later on. I'm hoping so, because it was the only thing that really bothered me about Octopath Traveler 1. Now, it's not as cold and evasive as that game is, as there is literally like no interaction between each other. This game does have some, and it does acknowledge each other a little bit. But again, it's something that I wish they did a little bit more on, and I understand how difficult that could be when you're also coming up with 8 different storylines, in-depth character and character development, as well as just trying to finish a game on time that's complete and doesn't have a lot of problems, which I think in itself is some sort of accomplishment in 2023, as yeah, I can honestly say there is nothing wrong with this game at all, as far as performance-wise anyway. And honestly, I've had very few issues with the game in general. I've really enjoyed this game, and right now, to me, it's a 9 out of 10. Now, when I finish the game, I'll be able to give you a more accurate score, as, you know, sometimes stories can fall off, sometimes gameplay can get repetitive. These things sort of happen, but right now, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10, and I think that this has done well in surpassing Octopath Traveler 1, as I'm even more emotionally invested than I was in the first one. But that's just my thoughts on it. Anyway, guys, let me know if you guys are going to play it, pick it up, everything down below. Let me know if you're into RPGs. What's your favorite RPG series? All of that stuff I really do appreciate, guys. And if you really want to help me out, like, subscribe, and watch the next video by me. Like, not the next one I make, but I mean the next one YouTube suggests. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.